FA Cup final. And Hatchin! What a magnificent goal!
Good evening and welcome to All Things Sky Blue IMO. In my opinion, with obviously me, Stuart. It is my little show and I thoroughly enjoy it. Hope everyone's okay. Thank you very much for those that have already messaged. Just before I get into the messages, just a little bit of housekeeping. Just remember where you can find us. We are on all social media platforms, X or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. Facebook and TikTok. We're also on podcasts, so Spotify, Amazon, or wherever else you get your podcasts from. We're sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications for this up-and-coming season, who can do all your steel fabrication work up and down the country, but mainly in the Coventry and Warwickshire area. Also, we are partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena. So, let's get into it. Hello, Dalraj. Hope you're okay. How you doing? Thoughts on fixtures? I'll come to them in a minute. What do you think? He's asking about, do you think we'll sign anybody else? Good evening, Glenn. How are you? I hope you're okay. Thank you very much for coming on. Keeping cool in this heat. I'm trying to. I've got a light on to make it a little bit brighter, but it's not. I am absolutely sweating. I don't know whether if you can tell or not, but I am sweating. So I hope everybody's okay. What are people thinking about the fixtures? Are you happy about the fixtures? Are you not happy? Mark Smith has said, how many points from Stoke, Oxford, Bristol City and Norwich? So obviously 2 home, 2 away. I think, look, the honest answer is, Mark, I would like, 3, 6, 9. I think 9 points out them 4, you'll be happy. I would be looking for 10 probably personally. But if you've got 9, then yeah, I think you're doing okay with 9 points. Look, that's a better start that we've had in previous seasons, hasn't it? You know, the past 2 haven't started the best. We've had slow starts all the way through the past 2 seasons. So yeah, hopefully we can get the ball rolling with nice early points on the board. Back to Dalraj. Yeah, to do with the fixtures, buddy. I'm reasonably happy, to be fair. I can't see any that I'm overly worried about, if I'm honest. Okay, open day fixture. Away. I would have preferred it at home, obviously. I would have preferred our first game to be at home, but it's not. It's away, and that's fine. But yeah, home again for Boxing Day, which is really good for us. I'm really pleased about that. And New Year's Day, I think we're away New Year's Day. Yep. I can't remember who we're playing against actually New Year's Day. If somebody can tell me who we're playing New Year's Day, that'd be great. And then last game of the season against Middlesbrough. If we're in the playoffs and they're in the playoffs, we might possibly get them again in the space of 3 weeks. Is it an omen to get back to Wembley? Because we played them 2 seasons ago when we didn't go up. We played them in 3 weeks in a short space of time, 3 games in a short space of time. So, you know what? It might be an omen. Let's wait and see. Mark's also said, what do you think of the new training kit? Yeah, seen it. I've seen a few complaints already about it being too dark and maybe the stripes being a bit too wide. On first face of it, I quite like it. I think it's okay. But I'm sure it's a grower. I'm sure the more I see it, the more I think, yeah, I like it. But it is only a training top. Remember, it is only pre-season training top as well. So I'm sure hopefully now that's out, they'll they'll get the proper kit out and we can all have a real good look at that. Darraj has said, I'm worried about the Watford and Norwich game and the Bristol City game. I don't know about Stoke or Oxford. Well, I think Oxford, having only just come up, I've put them down to go straight back down again in a league placing that I did. I think it will be too much for them. I thought that about Ipswich. And Ipswich completely and utterly blew the Championship out of the water. Can't see it happening again. Can't see lightning striking twice, but we'll have to wait and see. So we don't know. But yeah, Oxford I'm not too worried about. Bristol City I'm not too worried about. Norwich is probably the only one. But I think we're home for that one. So, yeah. If we can get a few wins under our belt, I think we'll be going to that one pretty happy, to be fair. He's also said, Darraj, do you think we'll make any more signings? Yes, I think we'll make more signings. I think there's still a lot to do in the transfer window, and that's coming and going. So you never know. Under Average Cov fan, thank you very much on YouTube. Which signing excites you the most so far? I would probably say Rudoni. I think he's the one. But I think Mason Clark's going under the radar a little bit, because we signed him in January. He's definitely going under the radar. He's not on everybody's lips and, talking about. And because we've had him we haven't had him. He was on loan, I know. But, he's one of ours now. So we'll have to wait and see. Mark Smith again on Facebook. Thank you very much. For the first time as well, guys, we are on Instagram. So if you can tell me what it's like on Instagram, that would be great as well. Just to know what it's like, really. That would be fantastic. Mark says, Mark Robins is under more pressure this season to deliver success. Yeah, I think every season that Mark Robins has had, he faces more and more pressure, especially now Doug King's in, because he is being given the money, and he is bringing these signings in. So, with that does come an element of pressure to deliver success. You're exactly right. Under Average Cov fan, a chance of Callum Doyle coming back. Yeah, for me, it would be a no-brainer. I'd have him back in a heartbeat. The only issue that I've got with it is where are you playing him? That's the issue that I've got. I know he played left back a little bit for Leicester. I'm not a big fan of playing him at left back, if I'm honest. But left centre back, most definitely. But then you've got to think, why have we bought Binks and we've got Kitchen? So is one of them going to go? We don't know, do we? So, but yeah, Callum Doyle, class player, have him back any day of the week. Absolutely brilliant. If he did come back, obviously at the moment, I believe it's just rumours. I know people are saying it's 100% true, but until I see that handshake, I've said it before, I will not believe it. Sky Blue Sam on YouTube as well. Thank you very much, Sky Blue Sam. Brandon Thomas Asante from West Bromwich Albion linked. Yeah, another one. Good striker. Glenn just said it's not working on Instagram. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to disappear for a second, I think. Bear with me. Sorry. Yeah, no, sorry, guys. Sorry, I was just looking at Instagram because it's not working. It's got a tick where I am. I might have to try it again at some point. Apologies if you're trying to watch on Instagram. Sorry, thoughts on Asante. Yeah, good striker. Again, if we get rid of Godden maybe or send somebody out on loan, then yes, I'd have him. To be fair, I'd probably have him anyway. But again, it comes with a bigger squad. When you've got a bigger squad, it's you've got to try and please everybody. And Robinson hasn't been in that position before. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he actually does. Under average Cov fan, where do Latty and Burrows fit in next season? Latty, well, because he's been captain before, I think obviously he stays and is very much a utility player in terms of if we have injuries. He can play in a number of positions, which is really, really good for us. Burrows, on the other hand, everybody that listens to me on our X Spaces or listens to me on here or just listens in general will know that I'm a big fan of Burrows. And it's going to be a big call for Robbins. I'm hoping that pre-season we'll see a different Jack Burrows, and he will fight for the place with Milan. He's not going to necessarily beat him as such to that. Hold on 1 second. Millie! Sorry, guys. Absolute nightmare. Pandemonium in this house at the minute. Out. Sky. Get Sky out as well and close the door, please. Go on, out. No, out. Absolute nightmare. Sorry about that again. Yes, about Burrows. Yeah, it's going to struggle, I think, to nail down a first team. I'm just hoping that he can push on and give Milan a run for his money. I like him a lot when I've seen him. Hi, Luke. Thank you very much. Hi, Luke Robinson on Facebook. Dalraj again. What players do you think will sign? I've asked you before, so you think we'll make any more signings? Yeah, I think we'll make signings. How many? I probably think that we need probably another 5, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know who they're going to be either. I'm not in the know. I don't know anything. Have we got any more interviews lined up? We have. In a couple of weeks, we'll be interviewing the next player, which is going to come out just before we kick off the new season. We might have 2, actually, to be fair. But yeah, have a look for that. Luke, not live on TikTok, Nate. I'm going to go live on TikTok after I've done this. So because I've got 2 screens, it's hard to go backwards and forward. I will be on TikTok live once I've finished this. I'll only be on for an hour or so. But yeah, come and join me on there after this if you want to, buddy, and ask me any questions as well that you've got on there. Any other shows lined up? Yeah, hopefully, I think this Sunday we'll be back doing the X Space at 9 o'clock, hosted by Josh. Like I said, we've got fans around the world. That's on there as well. And we've got more coming up with that as well. So look out for all that. That would be great. Brad Collins, Bidwell, Bobby Thomas, Binks, MVE, Sheaf, Torp. He might leave Haji Mason, Rudoni, Sakamoto, Sims. Where do you see Haji Wright fitting in? Well, like I said, based on last season, me personally, if he doesn't work as much off the ball, then I think Mason Clark will take that spot. If he comes back and he works a lot harder off the ball, then I think it's Hadji's to lose, but he has got to work harder off the ball for me. He doesn't do it enough. So yeah, that's what I see with Clark and Haji Wright. But somebody has said something today. I don't know if it was on Facebook or TikTok that I saw. Might have been somewhere else, to be fair. But I said when we first bought Mason Clark that I can see him being a replacement for O'Hare because everything was still up in the air with O'Hare signing a contract. I said that he would be the replacement for O'Hare. Now I've heard that people want him from Huddersfield saying that his best position is number 10. So yeah, that would be I've said that for a while. So we'll have to wait and see. Cody Gibson, cheers from the US. Nice. If you give us a DM on YouTube, if you give us a DM, we'll try and get you on from the USA on our channel. You can come on and we can ask you questions, see what it's like to support Coventry in the USA. What do you think of Hadji Wright and stuff and things like that? So yeah, send us a DM, buddy, and I'll get back to you and we'll arrange for you to come on one of our shows if you're interested, obviously. What do we do with Kitchen? Well, again, that's a really good point, Kitchen. We've just brought Binks in. If Doyle does come, again, it's only hearsay at the moment, then it would be interesting. I don't particularly want to go three at the back, but does he go three at the back and shove Doyle in the centre of Thomas and Kitchen? Thomas and Binks, maybe? But you always need a squad, so it looks like he's definitely trying to get a squad together. What are your thoughts? What's your starting team versus Stoke? That's from Glenn. I'll put that one up a minute, Glenn, actually, on Facebook. My starting would be, based on what we've got today, would be Collins in goal, probably Bidwell, Binks, Thomas, Milan, Torp, Chief, Rudoni, and probably to start the season off, I'd go Hadji on the left, Sakamoto on the right, and Sims up top. But if I don't see enough, as I've already mentioned, about Hadji Wright working harder, then that can easily be Mason Clark, definitely. But again, we'll have to wait and see what pre-season brings. We'll have to wait and see. From Ben Watkin? Hello, Ben. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. Do you think Douch will get some game time in pre-season? Is it time to move Godden? Probably time to move Godden, I think. Yeah. I think he's still a good striker, but I think you could see from last season that the pace was lacking a little bit with some of them balls. He didn't have much service in some of the games that he come on and was expecting to do something. I just think that the way we play now doesn't warrant Godden. He's still a good striker. He can still do it in the Championship. I think he just needs to play in a 2 rather than a 1 like we play. If Robbins changes formation and we play with a 2, you never know. There might be a place for him. I still think he can do it in the Championship. He's still probably the best finisher that we've got in the club. It's just circumstances and unfortunately age as well catches up with everybody. But it was telling that he was a little bit slow and couldn't quite do it, which is unlucky really for him. They both play in completely different positions. Dalraj, who are you talking about? Sorry, mate. All things sky blue away date at Stoke. Yeah, that's fine. We'll try and sort that out. I'm going to go, I think, because again, like I did last year, my partner's cousin lives in Stoke, so we'll make a joint effort and go and see her and have a takeout and stuff after the game and things like that as well. Provided that it's still on the Saturday, it's still up in the air, I think. Glenn, it was my quote. Interesting that Peterborough fan on with Gabe Sutton said EMC would be best in a number 10 role. Yeah, I said that for a while. To be fair, I said that as soon as we bought him, that I can see him playing that number 10. So I think he's got the ability to do it. Maybe play him, maybe play Rudoni as the 8 rather than Torp, possibly. So look, it's great to have options, and I'm glad that I haven't got to make that final decision. So we'll have to wait and see. Mark said, have you heard any names that could be our new coach? There's only one that I've heard, and again, I don't know how true it is, and that's Michael Doyle. But again, it's just rumours circulating around that it was him, but I haven't heard anything concrete. And if any of you guys have, then please let us know. But I haven't at the moment. Excuse me. Under average Cov fan, what's your pick for player of the year, top goal scorer, and where Cov finish? Wow. There's some hard questions to be, since we haven't even kicked a ball yet. What's your pick for player of the year? You know what? Player of the year, I'm going to go Torp. Top goal scorer, I'm going to go Sims. And Cov will finish second. That's what I'm going to say. Now, I've only said second because I can't guarantee a playoff final win. If I could guarantee a playoff final win, then I would finish third and I would go to the playoff final. But because we can't guarantee it, I'm going to go for second place, I think. I don't think we finish. I don't think we win it, but I think we'll be up there or thereabouts. We're a top 8 side. We're top 6 side now. Last season, I said we were a top 8. This season, we're a top 6. Definitely. 100% will be in that. At least top 6. At least, he says. But yeah, I reckon we'll finish second. Sky Blue Sam, which games are you looking forward to the most next season? I'm actually looking forward to Boxing Day, Plymouth, getting one over Rooney again, because I don't think that he's going to do very well. And I think I've picked them to go down. I think in third place, third from bottom. I think they're going to go. Unfortunately, well, I'd say unfortunately, I'm not bothered really. I'd like Plymouth to do well because they did okay last year, but the appointment of Rooney I don't particularly like. So yeah, he just doesn't do anything for me really. He might change my mind with the style of football, but he didn't do anything at Birmingham when Eustace should have kept the job. He shouldn't have been brought in there. He hasn't really done anything managerial anywhere else. So no, look, I have picked them to go down because I just don't think he's going to do it. I think he'll be gone by Christmas probably because of where they are. But we'll have to wait and see. He's too busy being a pundit for, I think it's ITV or BBC One. I can't remember for the Euros. So how much preparation is he putting into Plymouth at the minute? Don't get it. Don't take the job if you're going to be a pundit. You know, it's his first season. At least Ange. I know people are going to mention Ange as well. You know, but he's been at Tottenham a year. Everything's probably underway for him. He's only just got the job. So he should be focusing on that rather than being a pundit. But you've all got to make a living, I suppose. King and Robbins apparently interviewing last week. Oh, okay, for the coach's role, I presume. I'd be surprised if Doyle left Woking. Yeah, I would be as well. But that was the one name that I've heard. I haven't heard anything else. Glenn's also said, will O'Hare sign a new deal with Cov? Again, would I like him to? Yes. Do I think he will? No. And I've kind of moved on with it. But we'll have to wait and see. Surely he'd signed somewhere else by now if he'd had a good offer already. Yeah, I do agree with that. But again, his contract isn't up until the end of, I think it's Sunday that his actual contract runs out, I think. At the end of June, I think. So, yeah, it's difficult for the lad, for what to do best. But if he comes back, I'll be singing his song. If he doesn't come back and sign for somewhere else, then unfortunately, onto pastures new. We've got Rudoni, we've got Mason Clark, we've got other people there now and other players that can fill his role and maybe better what he's done with us. But he's loved by fans. He loves the fans. He loves the club. You can see that, but we'll have to wait and see. Paul Graham on YouTube, thank you very much for joining us. Do you think we will get a new goalkeeper? Yes, I think we will get a new goalkeeper. When? I ain't got a clue. And who? Haven't got a clue on that either. But yeah, I think we get a new goalkeeper. I think we're all not resigned to the fact that we're going to get a new one. But again, it depends. I would say yes, but I'm not Mark Robbins. I haven't got a crystal ball. I'd love to tell you that if we do or we don't, but I can't. Does Casey Palmer have a future with Cov? This is from Sky Blue Sam. Again, thank you very much on YouTube. Does he have a future? Yeah, I think he's got a future. I think he's loved by the Flans. He's got a good relationship with De Silva and obviously with a few of the others. But is he one that we can possibly cash in on? Yes, because of the players that we've bought in. Do we? No, because again, we need that squad depth. Everybody's got to play a part. And I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter the other day, I think it was, and he's got to up his game if he wants to be in that starting 11. He's got to up his game, because I never mentioned in my starting 11. But yeah, it will be interesting to see, if players actually step up and want to get into that first team. We know what Casey can do. We know, some of them balls that he was trying towards the end of the season that was trying to just get through, weren't getting through to the runner. Does it fit Casey Palmer? Because I think they were all knackered and blowing out their arse, weren't they? Towards the end of the season, the cup run took it out on us. But again, if you want to get into that position, again, we want another good cup run. I wouldn't say no to a cup run, but we've got to have strength and depth, and that's what they're doing now, and that's why we'll probably keep Casey. Ben Watkin again on YouTube, thank you. Which player needs to improve the most from last season and why? Good question. Hadji probably needs to improve, and I think he can improve. I think there's more to come from Hadji, and I just want to see more work rate off the ball, because if he worked harder off the ball, he would be a hell of a player. A hell of a player. I remember going to watch the player interviews at the Tavern when it was Hadji Wright, and he said he wants to emulate Thierry Henry. Well, Thierry Henry worked back as well as, being an absolutely machine going forwards, and that's what we need to do. That's what he needs to do to emulate him. So, yeah, I would probably say Hadji. De Silva is probably going to be there as well, who needs to improve a little bit more defensively. Going forward, we know how good he is, but defensively he's got to improve as well. Goalkeeper Collins. I think they can all improve, to answer the question. But you've asked me which player, so I'll probably say Hadji, De Silva and Collins. Any players that Euros catch your eye as possible Cov signings? Not particularly, to be fair. No, I can't see it. There's been a few good standout performances, but somewhere where we can buy from. No, and that's the trouble with having Euros. You can, and World Cups as well, because anybody can have a really good tournament, and then you get him and playing club football, and it just doesn't turn out the way that you expected. It's difficult. But I'm going to say no one's caught my eye that for Cov to sign. Not really, because all the big boys are already taken up, and we can't afford either their fee or their wages or whatever other reason. So, no. Cody on YouTube, Cody Gibson, thank you very much. One of the first seasons in a while that we have first team choices on the bench. Could be an exciting year. Would like to see Tavares continue getting chances on the right-hand side as backup to Sakamoto. Yeah, that's a good call. Towards the end of the season, he did have, he had two really good games. One at Wolves when he come on, but he started a little bit slower on that one. But when he come against Man United, he was he played really, really well, and he did make a difference. More direct. But again, Tavares is of that age. He's not one of the young ones. He is getting on a little. Say he's getting on a little bit. He's what, 25, 26 now. He isn't 19, 20. Rudoni's come in. He's 22, 23. Sorry. Mason Clark. He's what, 20 as well, 20, 21, something like that. So yeah, he's got and unfortunately, his injuries has hindered him again, and it's such a shame because I do like him. I was there for his debut against Preston with that really, really good goal that he took. And I thought, wow, what a player we've got. And then he didn't really have a chance to come back in again. And then against Wrexham, he comes in, plays okay, and then he gets the injury and he's out for God knows how long, comes back. So I feel sorry for the lad. So I hope he does get a chance. It probably will be for Sakamoto, but again, he might be down that pecking order because we've got that Rodriguez. I would imagine that he plays for the under-21s, but if he lights it up, it won't be long before he's in the starting squad, at least on the bench. So we'll have to wait and see. X-Rains and Ninja and Killian O'Dwyer. How are you, Killian? Thank you very much on YouTube. Anything in the Doyle rumours? Again, it's just rumours. We hear all the time that something's going to happen, that his pictures have been seen. But like I said before, until I actually see the handshake or the trainers nowadays, because it's the trainers, isn't it, that everybody is looking out for, then I won't believe it. I won't believe it until I see it. So at the moment, it's just rumours. So we'll have to wait and see. Glenn said, thoughts on England at Euros? Flat, boring. I would like to say, I'd like to be optimistic, but we do what England do, and that's qualify out the group. May have another good game somewhere, and then we'll fall flat in our face. Hopefully, they'll get better. Hopefully, Southgate will maybe change things around slightly. Hopefully, he sees that it doesn't work. But look, let's face it, he's not going to take Rice out, and he's not going to take Kane out. So, does he change formation? Can't see it. So he's going to stick with Mainu or Gallagher or Trent. Probably not Trent in that position now, but Gallagher or Mainu to play them two holding midfielders. And we probably need it now going into the harder games. But before, no, I don't know. But we've got to start. We've got to start playing better. I think that's obvious. We've got to start playing better. But we'll have to wait and see. Any concerns that Robbins could end up in a Southgate position? Too many options in midfield and attack, and how to keep everybody happy and getting the best combination on the pitch regularly. Well, I think the advantage that Robbins has got is definitely that he's got more time to experiment in pre-season. Southgate doesn't have that much time. I don't agree with that is experimenting in the actual tournament itself. I don't agree with that. I think he should have done it before if that was his plan. But I think he's got to. I can't say it. I think Robbins will know. Robbins will know this time who his best 11 is. I think, but. Look, if it doesn't work, the difference is we've got options. We've got options that can probably make a difference. So if he doesn't start Rudoni, he'll come on, he'll make a difference. If he doesn't start Haji Wright, he'll come on, he'll make a difference. Same for Mason Clark, same for Torp, same for Rodriguez, Sakamoto. So as the lad just said there, we've got options that are coming. Really, really good. And, there's still more to come. So we'll have to wait and see again. James, I see on YouTube, thank you very much. Prediction for this season. are the automatics realistic, or are we happy to give the playoffs a go? I just mentioned that a minute ago, James. If you're still with us, I think that we finish second. But if you offered me guaranteed a playoff win, then I would go third and go to the playoffs, because there's nothing better than winning that playoff final. And I think we deserve it after the past two visits to Wembley. We definitely deserve some luck at Wembley at the minute, I think. So if you could offer me if you could offer me playoff win guaranteed, then I'll take the playoffs every day. But because you can't guarantee it, then I say that we finish second. Gareth Stevens, hello, and thank you very much for joining on Facebook. He said, with the sale of Victor on the brink to Arsenal, would you say that the transfer will change Mark Robins' targets slightly in terms of having more of a healthier budget? Yeah, it might do slightly, I think, because I think it will just not necessarily free up transfer funds. I think it will free up more money for wages potentially that can go towards free transfers that are possibly still looming. People like Brown, Paddy McNair, maybe things like that. So, yeah, I think he'll have options. He'll have A, B, and C, and whatever happens, I think he'll go for one of them. But yeah, you'd think that he'd be given a little bit more money. Like you said, not necessarily in terms of the actual transfer fees, but on wages potentially. Yes, I do. Killian O'Dwyer, thank you very much. You think Rodriguez plays under 21, Stu? Possibly for a couple of games. It will definitely be joining them for pre-season. That's I think that's a given. But because he is only 19 and he's come from Australia, then I think he might need a little bit more time to settle in. So a few under 21s games. But if he shows promise in pre-season, then I don't see why he wouldn't be on the bench at least, or maybe even, again, I'm not playing anybody down, but maybe first home game against Oxford, you might see him. But looking at the fixture list again, I don't see anything. I don't see anything to worry about this year. I really don't. We know we can beat Leeds. We can beat Luton. We've took them close. I don't really fear anybody. Preston's our bogey side, so that's the one that we've probably got to worry about, but we'll have to wait and see. Would you take Saka and or Bellingham out? Saka's not done anything massively wrong. He's got an assist for Kane and he scored, which was obviously ruled out. So you can't really take Saka out. Bellingham, me personally, I would push Bellingham back and play alongside Rice and let him bomb forward and then play Foden as a number 10. That's what I would do. If Vic joins Arsenal, is he in your fantasy? I'm going to put that one up, Glenn, because I like that one. If Vic joins Arsenal, is he in your fantasy Premier League? I have already told everybody that if Vic goes to the Premier League, don't care who it is. It can be Fulham, it can be Southampton, it can be Arsenal, it can be Man City. Don't care. He is in my fantasy team without a shadow of a doubt, because we know he can score goals. We know what he's like. And yes, he is in my fantasy team regardless of what team he joins. At the moment, I'm going with two up top, and that's Vic and Haaland. That's my front two. I'm deciding on whether I go from another midfielder or go three up top and have maybe a Watkins or something like that. But that's obviously for a fantasy Premier League day. I still want to do a YouTube channel about that, but we'll have to wait and see. I say I have to wait and see a lot, to be fair. Apologies. Is Ryan Howley still here? I believe he is, but I can see him maybe going back out on loan, or even maybe maybe getting rid and selling, possibly. I just think that there's a lot more people now that are ahead of Ryan Howley, unfortunately. So I think he needs to go and get some games and go and get some game time. Hardeep, thank you very much, Hardeep, on Facebook. Need a new goalkeeper. Yes, we do, definitely. But when we get one, we don't know. Dalraj, Coventry play better football than England. I won't argue with that, but they have, England still got some top talent. So we know they can play on their day. They just haven't been performing at the start of this tournament. But look, we finished top of the group. We're into the next round. Let's see what it brings. Let's get behind England as much as we do, Cov. I'm not the biggest England fan, to be fair, just because. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see again. I need to stop saying that. Cody Gibson and YouTube again. What position would you strengthen, add depth to if you had to say? I would probably say goalkeeper. I think, yeah, goalkeeper. What position do you think we need to strengthen? Yeah, Cody's just asked that as well. Probably goalkeeper. Doyle would be a dream signing. He would indeed. It would be absolutely fantastic. So we'll have to wait and see. James OC, Stu, love your confidence for the season. Thank you very much. Anybody that listened last year, I said that we were a top 8 side. We finished 9th, so I weren't far off. I do believe that we are a top 6 side this year, just because of the teams that have come down out of the Premier League. I think that we can beat, and I don't think there's anything to fear. So I definitely think that we're a top 6 side. Whether we can push into that top 2, I'm not sure. I know I said that we'll finish 2nd, but I am being very optimistic in that. But yeah, we're definitely a top 6 side, 100%. There's more chance of Conv getting promoted into the Premier League than England winning the Euros or the World Cup. Yeah, look, if you offered me Cov getting promoted or England winning the Euros, Cov getting promoted every time. But you look, England are still there. Let's still get behind the boys and let's see what happens. Killian, sorry. What are the rumours of Doyle joining us? Yeah, again, like I've said before, they're just rumours at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see. But like I said before, again, I only believe something when I see the hands being shaken by Mark Robbins or Doug King, or I see the trainers walking out. So, yeah. Cody, oh my God, can you say top 5 side? Don't want to miss your prediction by 1 again. Okay, all right, top 5 side. Sorry, Cody. Yeah, top 5 side. Top 2, how about that? Top 2 side. Need a replacement for Callum. Well, Hardeep, I think we've already got it. I think either Rudoni or Mason Clark. I think we've already got them. I think we've got 2 good replacements there. Do you think we will finish 9th and below in the new season? Is that a good or bad season for us? I don't know if I said that right. I understand what you mean. Is it too early to do championship predictions? No, you can do championship predictions whenever you like. It's just harder because obviously there's still a lot of, the transfer window's open. Still a lot of people can come and go. So you don't know. But I understand what you mean. I think it depends on how well all the other teams do. So if everybody's on fire and everyone's beating everybody and there's no clear top 6, if you like, then, it's going to be more difficult. But I just think that with the team that we've got, I think if we finish out the top 6, I think it is a poor season, especially because of the people that we've brought in, the money that we've spent. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I think finishing outside the top 10 is definitely a poor season. We're definitely a top 6 side. We have to finish in the top 6. I think that's a must, really. We have to get to the playoff positions at least. Yeah, like I said, it's never too early, Darraj. If you want to do one, mate, you do one. Killian, I've seen someone saying Doyle was at the training ground yesterday on Twitter. Yeah, again, I've heard a lot of people saying that he's been at the training ground. A lot of people say that all the pictures are done and dusted and he's ready to be announced and stuff. But no, and like I said, until I actually see it for myself and see the pictures, I'm not going to believe what anybody said. And you shouldn't do either. You know, if you want to believe it and get yourself worked up and hyped up, then that's up to you. But no, I can't see it. Mark Smith, any news on Callum O'Hare? No, nothing yet, buddy, as far as I know, unless you know something different. Still, at the end of either this month or next month, his contract's up, and is a free agent. Would I like him to sign? Yes, probably. Where do I see him fitting in? Well, that's a good question. If he did sign, it'd be weird. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Joe Worrell still on the market. Yeah, again, there was rumours about Joe Worrell, wasn't there, going around, but we only want a loan for him. But then if you add Doyle into the equation, we've got Thomas, Kitchen, Binks. If you add Doyle and you add Worrell, that's 5 centre-backs for 2 positions. Unless he's not going to play Doyle in a left centre-back position. Or if we play with 3 centre-backs. Again, you know, depends. Depends on what Robbins has got planned. Kevin Quinn, thank you very much for joining on Facebook. Much appreciated. With the team we have now, top 6 minimum, but with a few more decent signings, should defo push, in my opinion, for top 2. I like it. Like your optimism. Fantastic. Yeah, it's exactly what I've said, Kevin. Totally agree with that, mate. Definitely a top 6 side, and hopefully we will push for a top 2. Is Bidwell our first choice left back next season? Again, at this moment, yes. If he wants to play Doyle there, not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I think we use Latty as a midfielder this year. Yeah, I think that as well, to be fair. Especially because that Stamenic or whatever his name is went somewhere else, which I'm not bothered about. Yeah, I think we've got Latty again to use there and utilise him as Robin sees fit when we need somebody in that position. No, thank you very much, Stephen McGovern, for coming on, buddy. No, I don't see Latty this year as a centre back. Not with the potential of Doyle coming in, and we've got Binks already. So yeah, I think I don't see him as a centre back. Any other questions? Any shout outs you want me to do? We're on 50 minutes now already. Thank you very much, everybody that's joined and listening and watched or watching. Killing a Dwyer. Hopeful Latty can pick up from form dropped off a bit towards the end, in my opinion. Yes, I agree with that, but I think everybody's, you know, I think, like I said before, the cup just took it out of them. Unfortunately, and we just didn't have the players to come in and pick up from the other players. But this year looks slightly different. I think he's starting to get all of his ducks lined up in a row. So, yeah, should be okay this year, I think, if we have a good cup run as well. When do we get kit reveal? I'm hoping tomorrow, but I haven't got a clue. I wish it was today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But yeah, can't wait for it to come out. What do you think the colours are going to be? Do you think it's going to be the dark blue and white that we've seen, or do you think it's going to be sky blue, or do you think it's going to be something completely different? Hardeep's also said probably need another striker. Yeah, I think so. Even if we keep, but again, it depends on where he wants to play. Right can play as a striker. He doesn't have to be on the left-hand side. So if Wright can play there, so we might not need another one. Depends on what ideas that Mark Robins and AD have got. Excuse me. Any news on a left back or left wing back? Not yet. Not yet. Obviously, the rumours are circulating about Doyle, so we'll have to wait on Doyle coming in and whether he plays left back or a left centre back. We have lots of depth in a lot of positions this year. It's something Robins always complains about, but this year he's got it. A squad to work with. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. Better all-round finisher from Hardeep. Yeah, look, I still think Godden can offer something. He did score, he scored 9 goals last year. They were all early on, and then he went off the boil a little bit. But that came with not being in the squad because of Wright, because of Sims got better towards the middle to end part. And then it was just the way that we were playing just didn't suit Godden. If we play with a 2, then again, I see Godden coming in. But if we only stick with the 1 up top and with the 2 wider players, then I think it would be time to move Godden on. If we don't finish higher than last season, is it time for Robins to move on? I think there'll be definitely more questions asked if we don't finish in a higher position, or if we at least don't get into the top 6. Just because of, like I've said before, the players that they've been bringing in is being backed massively. So, yeah, I think there is more pressure on him. Whether it's time to be moved on, not so sure. That's between Mark Robins and Doug. I don't think Doug's going to be one to be hanging around, if I'm honest. We all know that he's got that 5-year plan of the Premier League package and stuff. So I don't want Robins to go, even if we don't finish higher than what we did last year. Even though I've just contradicted with myself, to be fair, saying that if we finish out the top 10, then it's a poor season. But I'm going to go with it, and I'm going, like I've said before, I think we're a top 6 side. It's whether we can push into that top 2. Do you think we'll get Doyle massive signing if we do? I'd love him. I really, really would. As I've just said, I think is a top class centre back. I would only play him at centre back. So again, where does that leave Binks? Where does that leave Kitchen? Possibly you might be able to play him at left back, but I would still want him to be at a centre back personally. Him and Thomas would be really, really good, I think. Any new at All Things Sky Blue content this season? We have indeed, Mark. As people might be aware, we're doing fans around the ground this year, where we get fans from, as it says, all around the world. We had a fan on the other day from France. We've got some coming up from Canada, from Germany, from Argentina, from Scotland, from Wales. So yeah, we've got some more coming up. So look out for that. If you do follow us on YouTube, please go and like and subscribe. Our subscriptions are getting up nicely now, so we just need to keep pushing and get us over that 500 mark. That would be amazing. Killian O'Dwyer, which players from the under-21, Stu, would you like to see get a run in pre-season? For me, I would like to see Douch, Abiku and Batuani. Yeah, a beat crew. Obviously, I've seen a beat crew a little bit. He had a little bit of game time. I don't know whether it was last year. He played in the cup, I think, didn't he? At the start of last season when we went out to, was it MK Dons or Wimbledon? He's a tall striker. He's a big lad. So I think he can offer something. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. And Douch, yeah, we've seen Douch a couple of times. Interesting to see him as well. But, yeah, I think there'll be a few that's given a chance in pre-season, and we'll have to see what they do. Do you think Rudoni will be played in more of an 8 than a 10 role? No, I don't. I think he'll be played in a 10, and you'll have Sheaf and Torp behind. You might see, to be fair, Rudoni and Torp switch a little bit, and Torp play further up, and Rudoni come in, and then they can switch just to get the defences thinking about who they're actually man marking or marking. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Who else is in the top 6 beside Cov next season? I think Middlesbrough there. I like Carrick a lot. I think is a really good. I think is a really good manager. So Middlesbrough will somewhere up there. Burnley will probably be somewhere up there, but we don't know what manager's coming in yet. Not sure Luton can do the same. Again, there's still a lot of people that might leave and might come in at Luton. I like the manager, though. Edwards is a good manager. West Brom are always there or thereabouts. Norwich are always there or thereabouts. Don't see Sheffield United doing what they did. They're going to struggle, I think, this year. So Cov, Leeds are going to be there probably as well. They're probably. I've got them picked to go up top. I think they'll win the league. I don't think they'll piss it, but I think they'll win the league. Then Cov. So Leeds, Cov, West Brom, Middlesbrough, Norwich, and Hull, maybe. Might be there or thereabouts. Hi, Faye. How are you? Thank you very much for joining on Facebook. You okay? Mark Smith, I think Luton may win the league this season. Do you agree? No, I don't. As I've just mentioned, I think they're going to... they might not struggle. I don't see them getting top 6 just because, again, there's a lot to do in pre-season and things like that. Scott Parker or Bellamy is the next Burnley manager. Well, to be fair, either of them, and they're not finishing top 6. I don't like either of them two as manager, to be fair. Neither fill me with confidence they'll get Burnley to replicate Company's season. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Faye, awesome, thank you. And Faye again, getting excited for the new season. Yes, we are. We all are. I need to come round and see you as well, because we need to sort out how you're going to get tickets and stuff, don't we? Because I know you want to get to a game. We'll get that sorted, Faye. We'll be round soon, my lovely. Have we replaced Dennis Lawrence yet? No, not yet. Again, it's something that we've heard that they've interviewed, but we haven't heard anything as of yet who is going to be replaced. Yes. Perfect, Faye says. Excellent. Thank you very much. Any last questions or shout-outs that you want me to do? We've been near enough an hour now. If you want to join me on TikTok after this, I will be going on doing a TikTok live to answer any more questions and see who's live and see who wants to talk. Mark Smith said, stripes or plain sky blue as the new home kit. I would like to see stripes. I don't particularly want to see a plain kit, but stripes, yes, definitely, because that's what we are. Sky blue and white is what we are. But sometimes you've got to change it up a little bit. I get that. Kevin Quinn, thank you very much on Facebook. Luton have had their day in the sun, never going to be a yo-yo team. Keep the faith. Top 2 is within reach. Love the optimism, Kevin. Thank you very much for coming on and giving them thoughts. Glenn, prediction, who we get in the league. You want about the League Cup? The Carabao Cup draws tomorrow, isn't it? You know what? Again, I'm just trying to think who's with us. Maybe a Wimbledon. Maybe a Wimbledon or MK. Whoever went out to last year just to get that redemption. That would be quite nice, I think. Because I think with, as long as it's a home tie, I exactly agree, Glenn. Yeah, I'd take anybody at home. Because the big boys don't come into round 3, I think? Something like that. I'm hoping Leighton Orient away in the cup as my family support them. Okay, nice. All right then, guys. That's me done on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram, even though Instagram's not working. I need to sort that out. Yes, thank you everyone that joined. Just remember where you can find us. We are on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Please go and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. It is much appreciated. We're sponsored this year again by Right Steel Fabrications, and we're partnered by the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena. We are on podcasts as well, so please listen on the podcasts on Spotify, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcasts from. Once again, thank you to everyone that's joined: Kevin Quinn, Glenn, Mark, Dalraj, Faye, Killian, Glenn. I think I mentioned Glenn, Stephen, Macaulay. Thank you very much, James, Hardeep. Anybody else that I've missed? Just going back through. No, James, Darraj, Cody as well, and Hardeep. Thank you very much to everyone that's joined. Much appreciated. Like I said, once I've gone off here, I will be going on to TikTok Live. Give me about 5 minutes to get that set up, and I will be on there for about an hour. So please go and like and share to everything that we do. Much appreciated. And play up Sky Blues.